Hey, Mike, what's your passion in life?
Anything technical.
Okay. Okay. And what are all those collector things behind you?
What?
What are all those collector type things behind you that I see?
I read a lot of books. I like a lot of fantasy stuff. I'm really into muscle cars. I restore muscle cars, and I also do astrophotography.
Neat, man. You've got a lot of cool hobbies. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I love to hear that. That's neat, Mike. And so, Mike, you get with Dawn, and I mean, what you just said, I'll try anything. I'll just try it. Is that how it was?
Yeah, I mean, I've been heavy all my life, right? So I've been 200 plus pounds since I was in sixth grade. Always had husky pants. If you guys remember those, that were got from Sears, back in the day. And yeah, always been heavy. So losing weight was difficult. It just never happened. Right? I've been on.
Hey, Mike, lean in closer to your mic.
It's a diets the last 40 years, 30 years, right? So it's been a year.
What do you think, Dawn? I think that audio is not working. I'm having a hard time making out what he's saying.
Yeah, it's not great.
Give me 2 seconds, I'll dial back in. I know I don't apologize for that.
So how long is Don? Tell us, how long has Mike been doing this then?
Well, it can't be much more than if he's into a second shred.
3 weeks. He's
third
saying.
shred already. So
Our third shred or 3 weeks?
Okay.
I think he said 3 weeks. And what kind of things? What kind of things do you have to report so far, Don, as you've been supporting him through?
Well, and if we can get the sound going, I'd love Mike to share his results. I mean, because he had some significant issues, prior to starting this, and although we can't cure, prevent, or anything, we can't claim to do that, right? I mean, he's got some great info to share, and I don't want to misrepresent what he is.
Yeah, you know what? What I don't want to do is I don't want to do it an injustice by having flawed audio. I'd rather have him back on if we can't get it right.
I'll get it. Give me 2 seconds.
He said, "I'll get it. I'll get it."
I agree with you, Sean, about that. I want to hear Mike's story because Mike knows. I was a little worried about Mike, and I've been watching him, and I actually reached out to Don as well. So I very much want to hear his story.
Yeah. Well, tell us this. He said 2 minutes. Susan, so far, well, welcome, Susan. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for being on.
Good to see everybody's faces.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So Susan, do you have anything that you would like to say about our first 2 shares?
Yeah, I mean, I apologize for being late. Patty, I kind of came on the tail end of you, but I know you've had a significant result. And I love what you shared about mobility because, I'm also the years are going by and, not having our mobility is probably one of the most scariest things that could happen, and losing your independence and then to take that power back. And of course, you've had an amazing result, so you must feel like a rock star. And then Shannon, right?
Right, Shannon, yeah.
Shannon actually shared something so powerful and so extraordinary about our humanness. And she had an opportunity, an experiential opportunity to see what wasn't serving her. And when she said that, she knew that emotional eating was a trigger for her. She's probably known that forever, but now she had a direct experience with it. And there's something about the ER shred protocol, the ancestral, the old meets new, that's innate, and it pulls people back. It's the most amazing thing. So yeah, I mean, these calls are they just absolutely fill you up. I think, Mike, are you back?
I'm back in. I'm back in if you need it.
Oh, sounds good, Mike.
I do have some interesting things to share. So
yeah, please do.
again, I've had some medical issues over the past, and it's caused me to gain weight, right? Being on medication, and I mean, I've tried Noom, I've tried Weight Watchers. I go to the gym. I mean, I'll walk, I don't know, 20 miles a week, probably 40,000 steps. I go to the gym, and I get bloat. My legs swell up, my feet swell up. I literally which is kind of interesting. I wanted to mention this tonight because somebody else was talking about the inflammation. I had actually messed up both of my Achilles tendons last July, or actually August, in the surf, right? So riding waves with my kids, right? So you jump up into the surf. Well, you do that for 7 days, right? I pop both my tendons, right? And they have hurt since last year, okay? And every morning I would get up, I would actually have to walk down the stairs sideways, okay? Until they loosened up and stuff like that. I noticed the last, I don't know, 5-6 days that my tendons don't hurt anymore. I used to have to wear like a strap on my ankles, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, my legs don't hurt anymore. That's not right. What's going on? So,
man, that's cool. That's cool stuff.
It's the swelling up, and the most important thing I think so far, because again, I've tried all the diets. I bought a whole bunch of diet pills from internet things, and carbs and no carbs and fasting and all this stuff. I literally returned $1,000 worth of diet pills after I got on the call with Don and went to the ER shred method, right? So I sent them back. I got my money back, thankfully, because they didn't do it, right? And the one thing I've noticed that adding food back in, which is what I'm attempting to do, is instant feedback. I was saying to, I think, Don or somebody I added cashews back in because they were like next to me, right? So I wanted something to chew, right? Something that was crunchy, right? I like meat, don't get me wrong, but I need that crunch, right? Like a chip or something like that, right? So I ate a couple of handfuls of those, and holy cow, man, I had such a stomach ache. I was like, okay, I'm not eating that again. So that's just really positive reinforcement, on what you can and cannot eat. And it was just shocking. So evidently there's some food that I eat. I mean, obviously I like carbs and stuff like that, but there's something that I eat that really is just killing me, right? From a weight standpoint, that, it's probably something I've ate all my life, right? And I just, I don't know what it is. Because I'll swell up I'll gain 10 pounds in a week. I'll swell up my legs especially, and my feet hurt like hell. So.
Yeah, my dad, for years, my dad would teach people that if you ingest impurities, your body will actually retain excessive water. They call it edema.
Correct.
In an effort to dilute the toxicity inside of you. Your body's, it's a protective mechanism that the body employs to try to, prevent such harmful poisons and substances from, having access to vital tissues and organs. Well, this is very exciting. I know your posts in the group, you've been active in the group. I've really enjoyed that. One of your posts was like, I don't believe it. This is working.
Yeah. So, I mean, so far 12 pounds, for my first shred. So that was, 11 days. It was absolutely easy peasy, right? I was kind of surprised because I was not hungry during the cleanse, quite honestly. The bone broth, I mean, drinking the bone broth and the cleanse, I had no issues at all. So I wasn't hungry at all. I actually find that sometimes, and again, I don't know if I'm following protocol or not, but sometimes, I'll have the shake, right? I typically have about 9-10 o'clock in the morning. I'm not hungry. And then it cuts to like 4 o'clock and I'm like, do I really need to drink my second shake, or should I just, go have steak or protein or something like that? So a lot of times I'll just skip that second shake, quite frankly. And I think that's perfectly fine.
I
right?
think you should feel it out. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Feel it out, try
Yep.
different things, see what works, see what feels good. One of the things that I found, Mike, is, eating enough of the right things is critical.
Yeah.
Eating
Yeah.
enough of the right things is critical. And sometimes we say, well, I don't need to eat more, but sometimes it's in our best interest to fill the tank. And if you've gone a period of time, a significant period of time, I mean, it's different when you're fasting and cleansing and all of that, but if you've gone a significant period of time without servicing the body with that protein pacing, then it probably is a good idea to, to fill the tank, even if it's just, as much as you can till you feel satisfied. And another thing I found is it's empowering in terms of just squashing cravings for the wrong things. Filling up on the right
cravings.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no cravings at all, which is kind of odd. I'm really not a craving eater, quite frankly. I mean, I don't have a sweet tooth. I don't know what it is, right? I mean, again, my doctor's, insulin resistance or something like that, because, even when I went to the gym, he would look at my Apple Watch and, look at what I was doing on Noom. And he's like, you should be losing weight. So more than likely there's something that I'm eating that's supposed to be okay, but isn't.
Yeah.
Right. For my body.
Yeah, that's right. That was
Which I
me.
thought
I
was
mean,
kind of
you're
interesting.
you're talking to a guy who thought I was healthy. I thought I was healthy until I had a full-blown health crisis. And then I started to ask myself, like, what on earth is doing this to me? Like, I thought I was healthy. Susan, what else do you have you'd like to ask of Mike or share around Mike?
Well, I'm glad, that you're doing so well, Mike. I was nervous about you. Right?
Yeah.
But
I know
anyway,
you did say that. Not good.
yeah,
All
but
good.
I'm so glad that worked out for you. But what I will say, and I have this conversation, oh my God, every single day about not eating enough protein. And the funny thing about that too is I have that issue too, where I'm not hungry, I feel fine, I feel satisfied. But, for me, my goals, I want to build and maintain muscle. So I have to get in those protein stores. And the way we know that it's not enough is that, if the weight loss and the inch loss stalls, like that's your body's way of telling you that you might need a bit more, because you're saying you're active, you're a big guy, and you just might want to think about that as you go down the road. For me,
that's interesting, because I feel like I've stalled a little bit, quite honestly, because I was kind of expecting, after the shred, I lost all this weight. I was kind of expecting that, eating, just a couple shakes and, a dinner, that I should still lose weight. Right. And I really haven't in 10 days or so.
Mike, if caloric restriction, which is what that is, was the answer, everyone would have no problem.
Apparently it's not. Apparently it's not, because that's what I've been doing my entire life, right?
Yeah.
Is
So
restricting myself.
So counterintuitive, all these myths that we're bombarded with. And so now where you're at is you are walking yourself into the truth of Mike, what's going to keep you well the rest of your life, what's going to change the trajectory of your health, which you've already done that. And then finding your own food blueprint, which you're already doing, which is my favorite part of all of this. And are you done, Mike? Because I do have something I want to say in a story I want to share with you guys.
I could talk for hours. I mean, I'm a sales guy, so.
Well, just keep going. You're an inspiration. And I really have been keeping my eye on you. And I could tell.
I appreciate that.
Just the first few days and what you posted, I knew, this guy's going to be okay. So I'm thrilled to hear that.
I'm very scientific. I have to know exactly what's going on. And when something's weird, right, I ask questions, right? I mean, the old.
Good for you.
The old excess stuff coming out of you. It's like, okay, when I was, on the shred, couldn't go to the bathroom, and now I'm adding food in and it's, nonstop. So why is that? It doesn't make sense. Right. And, what you said, Sean, right? You basically were burning everything we put in our body. And for me to see that, like literally within a day or two, right? I my wife's meatballs, no pasta, none of that. She had the meatballs and the sauce, and And it was like, holy cow, what the hell, So now it's back to burgers and steaks.
It's a rough life, you know?
Yeah. And it keeps
Yeah, I
getting
know.
better. It keeps getting better.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
Mike, I want everyone to throw up swords for you because this was your first time coming on. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I also wanted to invite you to please let us continue on this journey with you.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
continue to show up. It's been so fun to just watch as you learn and watch as you have these, these moments of, oh my gosh, we kind of call them aha moments, like, aha. So way to go, Mike. So happy for you. Have you noticed anything around the mental clarity? Anything around that? And
Yes,
energy
I
levels?
have. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. So I found that one thing that was kind of interesting is that I found that I was tired the first couple of days,
Sure.
like super, super tired. And I'm like, okay, this is supposed to give me energy, right? And then again, reading through the posts and all the stuff, right? I found that the reason I'm tired is because it's my body actually trying to get rid of the impurities and trying to replace bad material with good material. I would say probably 5 or 6 days into the shred, I started feeling like I had energy again. But yeah, I definitely feel much more clear. There's no doubt about that.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Well,
It's
Susan,
crazy.
Susan, go
I
ahead.
didn't expect that. Okay, I am very skeptical. Okay, but then again, I'm very gullible too because I bought $1,000 worth of diet pills. So Well, that just goes to show you. But again, that kind of goes to show you how desperate I was, right? Because like I said, I'm going to the gym, I'm limiting my caloric intake, and I'm gaining weight. I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense, right? Even the trainer at the gym said, you got to go see a doctor. There's something wrong. I went to my doctor. He did all metabolic tests and stuff like that. No, you're perfectly fine. So I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? I mean, you go into the gym 3-4 times a week and, walking 30 miles in a week and you're not losing weight. But how? How is that possible? So,
well, and
here
I'll let Susan close this out, but hence the reason we need to get out there and help more people, because how many people are there out there just like you who are trying to do everything they know how and all the misinformation.
And you're not getting, yeah.
And you sit there and you go,
Crazy.
I can't win. So we really do have a solution. Susan, you wanted to share a story and close us out?
Yeah.